Floor is yours.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody. I think the most selfish thing we do, whether it's professionally or personally, is waste anybody's time. So I commend this committee 7 minutes and 8 for questions. We're definitely not going to waste time today. So very quickly, I'm going to take a little bit of a turn. We'll talk about athletics if we have time at the end and in the question and answer, but we're going to talk about the student piece first, and some of you that may not be familiar with the student impact of athletics on this campus. And I believe in God we trust. Everybody else has to bring data. So I brought a little bit of data today, and we're going to cover it here in rapid fire. Very quickly, intercollegiate athletics directly impacts 721 students on this campus. That's more than 10% of our undergraduate enrollment. We'll go through those numbers in a little more detail. Tuition and fee revenue generated from those students represents just over $6.2 million. When you back out the athletic scholarship piece that's in our budget from our athletic fee, you have a little over $2.1 million, so a net revenue impact to the institution of over $4.1 million because of students. And so we're going to jump right in here. NCAA maximums, they allow for 10 in the 2 basketballs, 12.6 in track and field, 36 in football, 3.6 men's golf, 5.4 women's golf, 9.9 soccer, 7.2 softball, volleyball 8. Obviously, we don't cut a soccer player and only use 9/10 of her. Those are scholarship equivalencies by NCAA maximums for the 14 sports that we offer, with track and field counting indoor, outdoor, and cross country as a cohort of 6. We have 115.3 scholarships that we can offer by NCAA maximum standards. Okay, so you can obviously see here between walk-ons, splitting scholarships, that's where this 721 number comes from. And marching band, there's not a school in the country that has a marching band without a what? Football team. So athletic trainers, dance, cheer, none of those are here without athletics. Football, we can offer 36 scholarships. We split those up among 131 student athletes with partials, and then we have another 37 that walk on and completely pay their own way. So again, that's how we get to that $4,146,000 number. Okay, does that make sense? It's a lot of numbers, a lot of data very quickly. A few things for athletic impact consideration. Again, the student piece of it, really proud of this number. We're not going to talk about any competitive success until we talk about the academic success. 3.17 cumulative student athlete GPA for 436 kids, 291 of them on honor rolls. That means 3.0 or better. Dean's list, president's list, commissioner's list with the LSC, 46 4.0 GPAs. Many of you were part of this. The athletic fee increased last spring to $32. What I want to make sure that, if you, for whatever reason, weren't part of that, I know we have a couple of new faces in the room, that does not start to directly impact athletics fully until FY 2021. And that's because, well-deserved, we invest in faculty lines, well justified. Certainly, as all of you know, we were behind in many areas, and I think it was said very well during that process. Tim and Tina and Paul will probably remember it, among others. This institution didn't pay for its growth. Athletics is certainly a microcosm of that. In athletics, we were functioning at a 1099 athletic fee until this year. That's behind A&M Texarkana, and they don't even play Division II sports. So, and back up there, that's not to boast or brag, but our athletic fee turnout, I think that's a byproduct of a couple things. Athletics is hopefully celebrated on this campus, not just tolerated. And I think also with our Student Athlete Council being that largest registered student organization, and they've just gone over last weekend the 4,300 mark in community service hours this year. To give you some perspective, of our 436 athletes, 403 of them participated in community service activities. Why not all 436? Well, some of them are walk-ons, they have to work. Saturday and Sunday is their time to make money. So essentially, I'm really proud of that because that's a record number for us, and that means every kid in our department that could or that's on some type of scholarship averaged over over 10 hours of community service given back to the campus or the community or the region. Other financial impact and just overall, I think, in my opinion, student retention impact initiatives on this campus, police overtime with events. So that's a direct, that comes out of our game operations budget. It creates opportunities for our police and workforce to make additional income working overtime, and with as many football and basketball and softball and UIL events as we have, that's an opportunity. Sodexo concessions revenue and income. Obviously that, with the success of concession sales and more people coming through turnstiles and buying more popcorn and sodas and now adult beverages, that creates opportunities for Sodexo to reinvest more in their infrastructure, whether it's here in the student center or throughout their catering and concession initiatives on campus. Certainly student work study and student assistance, whether it's game operations or working our events or working in our offices. We have those opportunities, working with our coaches on an hourly basis. And then certainly because of athletics, UIL regional athletic championships. We have a softball playoff game tonight, bringing kids to campus and exposing them to A&M commerce in ways they may not otherwise get to see. And then certainly internship opportunities throughout all colleges, primarily obviously with Health and Human Performance, but certainly with the College of Business, College of Education, with the coaching, teaching initiative. So very, very important piece there. Why student fee assistance? Well, there's 4 things, and then obviously I know you guys have questions, but accelerated progress toward degree, improves our NCA and institutional graduation success rates. That can help the university from an umbrella perspective on retention is one of our formula funding avenues, so that's very, very important. Want to be good partners there. Demonstrated improved student retention rates on campus. That also affects formula funding, and certainly student athletes being a high affinity group, along with music, Greeks, student government. As you guys know, if you're invested, you're much more likely to continue to matriculate here at A&M Commerce. And frankly, we're behind our national and conference peers. Grand Valley, Northwest Missouri, Ferry State, some of the primary Division II schools, but even at West Texas now, Angelo State, some of the schools in our league, they're funding summer school. And then partnering with our division, I think, is another commitment to collaboration. And to tell you a little bit, we've already raised $99,000 this year towards summer school scholarships. That primarily will fund football, because that's what the initiative was, coming off the success of our national championship. That's the first time we mentioned competitive success. Well, because this is a student service fee committee, I want to focus on the student part. But very frankly, it gave us an opportunity to open that door. What this funding will do in future years for us, if granted, will allow us to continue to offer the opportunities in the 3 court sports. Volleyball, women's basketball, men's basketball. Why are those important? Well, they're the 4 sports that are defined as required by Lone Star Conference initiatives as core sports if you sponsor those 4. And also, very frankly, until we have a competitive facility for those 3 court sports, we need to give them every competitive advantage to compete and recruit at a high level. There's our quick year-to-date superlatives, but I didn't think I'd have time, but so we'll fly through this. Done?
Yeah, time. Questions for Tim?
There's no doubt.
Why don't you go ahead and finish it? Yeah. Couple more slides.
Good.
Sure.
These are, we are going to get to we are at the competitive piece now. Hopefully everybody knows we won a national championship in football. Hopefully everybody's proud that we won a national championship in football. So far this year we've had 2 individual national champions, Devontae Steele, men's indoor triple jump, our men's indoor mile relay. We've had a Lone Star Conference team championship, men's indoor track and field. Had a Kasai All-American, Jasmine Wacker in volleyball. And this one, along with the championship up here, really, really proud of this. We're the first school in NCAA history at any level to win the Triple Crown. Garrett Blubaugh, NCAA Elite 90. That's the highest academic student participating in the championships. Garrett's a pre-med major. Because of freedom of or student privacy laws, I can't tell you a GPA, but it was just slightly south of 4. So highest student athlete performing in the championship. Harlan Hill, NCAA Division II Heisman, Luis Perez. Dr. Keck would be proud of me for accenting it correctly. And then obviously the national championship. 4 National Player of the Year honors across 4 different sports. 32 All-Americans so far. That number will grow. We're still playing softball, outdoor track and field, and men's golf right now. 41 All-Region, 11 LSC Players of the Year, 10 LC Individual Champions, 2 LC Academic Players, and 70 Lone Star Conference. 3 National Player of the Weeks, 1 Regional Player of the Year, 50 LSC Players of the Week, 14 LSC All-Academic, and 6 Kasai Academic All-District. Those academic numbers are the highest they've ever been in institution history. And then really proud of this, we've had 8 teams. I still think we have a chance for 1 more. 8 teams ranked in the top 10 in the country this year. We may never have another year like this competitively. I'm not going to ever promise that. We may never get to win another national championship. But investing in the student piece of student athlete is something we have to do every year. And if we have any chance of sustaining this competitive success, this is the key step for us, because we are behind our peers on summer school funding to keep kids here, keep them enrolled, keep them engaged on campus, and allow them to work out and train in the summer.
Questions?
I have a question. So prior to, I think it was last year that summer school was funded, how was summer school funded throughout the athletic department?
We didn't.
So
Well, we didn't promise it to anyone. We have roughly, we have athletic endowments that generate roughly $20,000 in income, so that doesn't go very far.
And is summer school typically a part of the package that student athletes get? No?
Here, no.
Okay.
Promised at other places, absolutely. Because in good conscience, our coaches can't do it. We're not going to make empty promises. 2 things we're not going to do: lie to a recruit and negative recruit against other schools. That's just not, that's zero tolerance.
Other questions for athletics?
So this is you've got the money to do it this summer?
Not
Okay.
completely. You've got the money to start it this
To
summer.
start it this summer, okay. And then this will enhance it, you will still, your department and your fundraising efforts will still contribute
Correct.
a lion's share of it.
Oh, yeah,
going
annually.
forward.
Yes,
So this
absolutely.
money you're requesting is just a supplemental piece.
Mhm.
So, if I do the math right, it sounds like you said you were raising $99,000 already for summer school. So I think it's $80,000.
But that will go all toward football, because that was a football initiative.
Gotcha.
Now, with this money, we can add volleyball, women's basketball, men's basketball to that cohort.
Gotcha. So then that means, so what is the plan for yearly being able to raise essentially $168,000? Because that's what it sounds like y'all have to.
Well, it is, and we'll have to, our Night with Champions event will continue. I'm counting in that we'll hopefully continue to generate that $20,000, so it's really about $188,000
Okay.
initiative. I'm not going to ask, well, I'd love to ask for more than we need, but I'm going to ask for what we need and
Gotcha.
see how it comes back. But so there's 2 elements there: the philanthropic piece, the combination of philanthropic and budget event piece that we're investing. And then we're asking, as a representative of our largest registered student athlete organization, or student organization on campus, and a very active one in the student community, for that third supplement from the student service fee.
So will any of this 31 go towards football at all? Or like you said, that 99,000?
I can't look into a crystal ball, but right now, the number that will help, what's the 31? I'm sorry.
That's what you're requesting.
No, that's what we got last year.
So what are you requesting?
68.
Their request last year was to fund buses for students to travel to an away football game and the Lone Star Conference basketball.
Josh, it's on the first page under Lion Championship Fund, I believe, Lion Athletic Fund.
Athletics got funded from this body last year,
Yeah, Lion
but it
Champion.
wasn't for
The
this.
68 is to
Okay, so
initiate the
68.
female court sports and men's basketball, because I feel like we'll be able to continue our philanthropic efforts for football. And very frankly, football has a larger alumni base. You know, basketball, we only, you know, the alumni numbers, as we all know, philanthropy's been a challenge at this institution. And so engaging some of our former student athletes. I'm pleasantly surprised we raised 99 this year, because we did it in about 7 weeks and tied it around a special event. But I still think it's a model for, you know, telling our story and not doing that well. And I think we all can appreciate that we have a high ceiling of opportunity to tell our story better on this campus. So,
Time for one more question.
It's just a clarification, you know, I know that Tim just sent out some email about that this request is really for the next summer. So the $99,000 that they have
We'll fund
raised
it.
is for this summer.
Right.
This is 68,000 is for the next summer.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, for summer of 19. Thank you, guys. Really
Thank you very
appreciate
much
it.
for your time this morning.